Is the cover letter dead? I'm Lila Huelster here with AgHires, and today we're going to debunk the truth about cover letters. There's a lot of conflicting information out there about whether recruiters and hiring managers still care about or even look at cover letters anymore. However, from the leading ag recruiting firm, we say the cover letter is in fact not dead. But there are some cases where a cover letter is going to be more effective and more beneficial to use than other scenarios. So here's what you need to know. The best use for a cover letter is really to convey any extra information that may not have a good spot on your resume or need some extra explanation behind it. For example, if you've been in the same industry for 15 years or in the same types of roles long term, but you're ready to pivot to something totally new, that is something you can include in your cover letter since it doesn't really have a good place on your resume and you want that hiring manager to know why you're applying for that different type of role. The same goes for if you're looking to relocate to a new area and you're applying for jobs that aren't even close to the location on your resume. Another great use for a cover letter is to explain gaps or transitions in your resume. Say you had a 3-year unemployment gap because you stayed at home to take care of a child or a family member. Since employers aren't supposed to ask personal information, it's okay to use a cover letter to disclose any information like this up front and explain those career gaps or transitions ahead of time. Lastly, if you feel like you could be the perfect fit for the job, but maybe your prior work experience at a glance wouldn't quite sell an employer that, write a cover letter that explains your skills and why you are the right candidate for the job and why they should give you a chance for an interview. Overall, the cover letter is really a great way to provide additional information to supplement your resume and fill in any gaps or address any concerns or questions a recruiter may get from reading your resume. On the flip side, when is a cover letter not necessary or not effective? The first scenario is if you simply use a generic template that just explains broadly how you're fit for the job and excited to join the company. This is really nothing special, and the hiring manager is not getting any additional information from this. So really, it's just a waste of time. We see this a lot, and it doesn't necessarily hurt to submit a generic cover letter, but it certainly doesn't help you either. Scenario number 2 is if you're using the cover letter to just summarize what's already on your resume. Just rewriting your skills and experience in paragraph form still isn't making that cover letter any more beneficial for the person reading it. So unless that application requires you to submit a cover letter, we wouldn't recommend using it for those 2 scenarios. A few tips for when you do choose to submit a cover letter. Tip number 1 is don't use a cookie cutter template. It's okay to start with a template, but make sure to really customize it and make it your own and tailor it to each company and position you're applying for. Tip number 2 is instead of using Dear Sir or Ma'am or Dear Hiring Manager in your greeting, it's a really nice extra touch to address it to that specific company, especially the hiring manager by name if you can find it online. That shows you did your research and put the extra time in to make it more personal. Tip number 3 is to keep it concise. Include all that extra information you want to convey, but remember that recruiters and hiring managers are reading a lot of resumes and cover letters, often doing a lot of skimming. So keep it as brief as possible with a few paragraphs and definitely do not extend beyond that single page for a cover letter. Remember, if it's your dream job or a company you really want to work for, putting in the time to create a personal, tailored cover letter is going to be worth it. It's going to help set you apart from other applicants. Best of luck in your job search, and don't forget to like and follow AgHires for more tips.